Please slide shut. Asante sana. You want to take a moment, look up above your head, you'll see an animal spotting guide. A lot of animals, right? Asante sana. Well, hi, Jumbo, everybody. That's hello in Swahili. My name is Jordan. I'll be your driver out here at the Rumbe Wildlife Reserve. Again, up above your head is the animal spotting guide listing the animals that they have the possibility of seeing this morning. I can't guarantee to see all those animals above, but we do normally have pretty good luck if you want to make sure cameras and cell phones are out and ready. This is a photo safari. If you are going to take pictures, I'm going to highly recommend a sports mode, action mode, or a continuous mode. Get the best picture possible. Can't stop every time we see an animal. We'll take a few steps here and there for some of them for about 5 seconds. Now, hang on tightly to all those articles, especially if you are taking pictures. That's because if you happen to drop anything off the safari truck, unfortunately, I cannot stop and pick it up for you, nor can you get it yourself. And if you're telling me to stop and I'm actually not ignoring you. I am calling the warden, giving them a heads up that something has fallen, its location, and then it will be returned to you later today, but not in the same condition or the amount of pieces you dropped it in. So let's just make sure we avoid that situation and hang on to all loose articles. Speaking of loose articles, make sure you also do remain seated. I'm the only one with a seatbelt up here. So even if I stop, I am going to hit the gas at some point to make sure we're not standing up, even if I am to stop for an animal. There's going to be pretty much animals on every side of the truck. So if you have a younger explorer, they are more than welcome to sit on your lap, but please make sure they also remain seated and they're not raising their ears if they're a lion cub, because they're not a lion cub, they're a man cub. And also make sure we're not playing hot potato with our children. That's how we accidentally throw them off the truck. I'll stop for your children, and that's probably about it. Other than that, if you drop anything, I can't stop for them. I'm just gonna wait right here for further clearance from the warden before we do head on in. This is going to be anybody's very first safari. Any first safaris? Oh, cool. Awesome. Carefully welcome. Here's another Swahili word you get to learn, and that's twende. It means let's go. Oh, looks like we're starting out in the Ituri Forest. That is, here in the forest, animals are just a bit more shy and timid than most others. They do also have a great natural camouflage. Their coloration and patterns will help them blend into their surrounding. Making it a little bit difficult to see as a natural defense to hide from predators. So you can see the okapi is doing a very good job at that over to the right-hand side. It's hiding behind the tree. Now the okapi does have striped legs, look like a relative of a zebra, but it's actually related to the giraffe. It's going to be its closer showing its tongue, making them relatives to a giraffe. And if you saw that smaller animal just behind the tree there against the right, that was a yellow-backed diker, which diker is Afrikaans for diver. When frightened, it'll dive into the bushes. Now, you also do have the bongos here to the left-hand side, which bongos are nicknamed the ghosts of the forest because they're really hard to see, especially if hiding in the thick brush. They also have slicked back horns on their heads. You run through the thick underbrush without getting tangled. You'll never see them coming, you'll never see them going. Now, as we move forward, you can see the yellowback diker a little bit better there to the right-hand side. Oh, but look around the watering hole. There's a black rhinoceros around the watering hole, and as we pass by, there's greater kudu, the second tallest antelope species there to the right. So, greater kudu, but here's the rhino. Oh, there's another one. Look at that.
Oh my God.
Now, there's the black rhinos weigh 3,000 pounds. So really no natural enemies besides poachers, and poachers are illegal hunters. Because they are heavily poached for their horn, there is less than 5,000 black rhinos in the entire world. Now there you go, against the right are the greater kudu. There's another one right up here as well. Now these are female greater kudu because they have no horns on their head. Well, again, there's more bongos with the slicked back horns on their head.
White-tailed deer, Mom. Oh yeah.
This is where we all die.
We're gonna go a little bit deeper into the forest and just check out the Safi River. While we're here at the river, we might come across a hippopotamus or two, which do have a living group called a bloat. Now they are considered one of the largest and the most dangerous animal here in Africa. That's because a fully grown hippo can be 5,500 pounds, and they are highly territorial. With 18 inch long in size, just as canine teeth, they are used for fighting purposes, for they eat 80 to 90 pounds of vegetation a day. Typically, hippos spend a lot of their time in the water. They can hold their breath up to 8 minutes at a time, if not longer, depending on the hippo. Because of their size, they actually will sink into the bottom of the river and prefer to walk or run along the river bottom when their feet reach. Now, I didn't see really any hippos there to the right-hand side, but if you look there to the left, looks like there's a hippo behind the island. And there are also the pink-backed pelicans on the island, which they'll get their name because during mating season, it's a pink color that develops on those back feathers. Males and females will care for the nest while the eggs are incubated for 30 days before they hatch. They're also colonial nesters, found in really, really large groups of 20 to 500 pairs. Well, there you go. Looks like there's a few hippos here to the left. Please sit down. Please sit down. Thank you. Sit down, please. Thank you. Again, hippos are dangerous, but so are Nile crocodiles, and they're also down below. Which Nile crocodiles are the largest species of crocodilian. They're 16 to 20 feet long in length, weighing up to 500 pounds. They're going to eat half their body weight, which is actually mainly fish, but they'll hunt anything larger than themselves, like wildebeest and zebras. Big powerful jaws, their jaws will apply 2,000 pounds of pressure per square inch, and that's bone crushing. Now they're about 10 to 12 miles an hour on land, and my truck will barely reach 8 on a good day, so we're going to get out of here. Now we've made our way out of the dense vegetation of the forest, so the Safi River is also behind us. We find ourselves in the great, wide open Serengeti grasslands. And the part of that will be the savannah. That means we have the opportunity of probably finding some of Africa's most famous animals while we're here. Just like the animals in the Ituri Forest, even the animals around the savannah will camouflage pretty well in the tall Serengeti grass. It means we have to keep our eyes open. If you want to look to the left-hand side, it's going to be one of the best views of the savannah, where you can see some of the animals out in the distance upon this overlook. Like white-bearded wildebeest, that's really the only animal I can see right now. And there's giraffes up ahead. Now, if you do look there to the right-hand side, again, you can see there are giraffes out there in the distance. They do live in groups called a tower, which they are actually the tallest land animal in the world. You can see how tall they are from here. When a giraffe is born, they not only drop 6 foot to the ground, because, well, giraffes give birth standing up, but they are measured at 6 feet tall. Fully grown, giraffes reach 18 to 20 feet tall, so pretty much they're as tall as the crocodiles that we saw were long.
A giraffe born is bigger than
You can see some young giraffes out there to the right, but if you look there to the left, there's the cave, and then more towards the right. Look at the cave and to the right of the cave. You can see there's African wild dogs. I'm going to drive as slow as I can. The African wild dogs are also known as painted dogs. Please sit down in the back. Thank you. So they are pack hunters, about 80 to 90% success rate in hunting. Because they're very persistent and chase their prey to the prey falls of absolute exhaustion. Just back there by the termite mound, to the left-hand side, were sable antelopes. They're actually the official emblem of the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. Well, there you go, there's a little young giraffe out there.
there's one good one.
And there's another giraffe there to the right-hand side. Now, like I said, they are the tallest land animal in the world.
Look at the termite.
And at the very top of their head, it looks like they have horns. They're actually fake horns called ossicones, or bony protrusions that come out of a giraffe's head. And though they have a really long neck, there's only 7 bones or 7 vertebrae in their neck, which is the exact amount of bones that humans have in their neck. They also have an 18-inch long prehensile tongue, so it can grab the vegetation to eat, but also clean their ears, pick their nose, and lick their eyeballs.
Shut up. That was eating.
The giraffe is those that can next to this giraffe here to the right-hand side if you want to check it out. Now with a close look at their spots, I can tell you these are Maasai giraffes with very dark, jagged spots on their bodies. Each species of giraffe will have a different spot pattern, while each individual giraffe will also have a different spot pattern, just like a human's fingerprint. Now just over there to the right-hand side, you can see there are some white bearded wildebeest. Now that's actually an Afrikaans word. It means wild beast. Is that they have a wild beastly look with their black faces and their horns. So there you go, you can see the wildebeest here. Now up to 1.5 million wildebeest can travel 500 to 1,000 miles a year all together for their safety in numbers. Known as great migration, other animals will actually join along while they migrate. Us humans are going to be the only other mammals to travel in large, densely packed herds like the wildebeest, which is pretty interesting when you think about it.
Oh, it's a cow and a horse.
She say hi. Are these animals tame?
Also, there's a very small antelope species up ahead to the right-hand side. Those are called springboks. Camouflage very well with their tan top, black midsection, white underbelly. Springbok are fully grown at 3 to 4 feet tall. So they're fully grown adults, not getting taller than what you see there to the right. They can jump about 6 feet into the air, 13 feet above where the running start. And they are one of the top 10 fastest land animals in the world. They're almost as fast as a cheetah.
Say hi. Say hi.
Oh, see a cheetah.
Say hi.
Cheetah, come up here.
Now we're getting a little bit closer to elephant territory. In fact, there is an elephant up ahead here by the watering hole to the right. And that's because this is pretty much near the entrance to the red clay pit. But if you want to look to the left, there's a mandrill. That's a male mandrill. You can tell by his size. He also has the iconic black-blue backside. There you go. The iconic backside, which is blue. There you go. Words are really hard right now. I'm sorry.
Imagine pull like that.
Now, like I said, to the right-hand side was the entrance to the red clay pits. We haven't taken another way, the surface way into the red clay pits, but we might come across some more elephants. You see the backside of the male elephant there to the right-hand side, which again, yes, that's a male elephant. Typically, males are solitary animals. They travel in a very loosely constructed bachelor herd. So we can probably find the females and young elephants up ahead.
I want her to be able to see it like this.
Now, basically, females do live in a larger herd known as a matriarch society. The matriarch is the dominant and oldest female in the group. Now, they also will tend to the young elephants until they're the adult age of 15. However, the gestation period for an elephant is 22 months. It's basically a 2-year pregnancy. Yeah, so that's a long time before an elephant's born. Now it looks like there are some tusk marks here in the red clay pits. They actually will eat the clay for minerals and vitamins in, and their track marks do go off to the left. Now, because elephants do carry the ivory tusks, elephants are heavily poached for those tusks, to where we lose 96 elephants every day. Yeah, 96. That's one every 15 minutes that an elephant is lost to poachers, because poachers will only see these animals as profit. So a lot of countries are trying to stop the ivory trade, but elephants are also endangered because of habitat loss. And that's reminding a mineral found with any mass-produced items that we own, like our cell phones, TVs, laptops, cameras, and other electronics. So being forced to live more amongst the locals, they've been harmed and their numbers have dropped because, well, farmers really didn't know how to keep the elephants out in a safe manner. But luckily enough, researchers found out they're not the biggest fan of bees. So farmers put beehives on their fences, keeping elephants out in more of a safe manner. Now if you can see back there, there's a very small elephant compared to the others. That is a baby. It's right near the rocks here. So the baby elephant, judging by its size, is about a year or so old. And again, they're not an adult at the age of 15. So not even considered an adolescent. And it already weighs 800 pounds. In fact, when a baby's born, they're 200 to 300 pounds. Yeah, there's the baby elephant.
Hey, Lucy! Hold on, hold on. Hold on. Do it, hurry. Hold it.
There's also here to the left-hand side of flamboyants, a group of flamingos, which they're actually the tallest and largest species of flamingos, which is why they're pretty light and pink. When they're hatched, they're a white-grayish color, and the pink coloring will develop from years of eating brine shrimp, which is actually rich in a protein called beta-carotene. You can see them all out there like that.
Yeah, but Allie.
Now we're passing that poacher's platform to the left-hand side, and you already saw that there's rhino horns and elephant tusks already confiscated. Again, poachers will only see these animals as profit, for they do have more advanced technology and even more funding to track the poor animals. Rhinos are heavily poached for their horn because most cultures will believe that they carry magical or medicinal properties to it. But a rhino's horn is only made of keratin. That's protein that does form your hair and your fingernails. Now this higher ground might increase our chances of seeing a big cat. However, even big cats do camouflage during the day. Kind of like that one up ahead that I can see. It's a cheetah. I'll pull up a little bit more. Looks like there's two. You see there's the left-hand side between the trees. Cheetahs are actually the fastest land animal in the world. Again, they do have a very good camouflage. There's spots that will hide them in the tallest area of grass. They reach the average speed of 16 miles an hour, but it's a sprint. They're not running that fast for too far. They're actually going to slow down after a few hundred yards. If you see that to the left-hand side, that's a kopie. And the kopie is a large rock formation where we might just see another predator, because you're probably reminded of Pride Rock, which are really not too far off. In fact, lions have been known to come across the kopie after every so often. Usually after sunset is what I was going to say. During the day, lions are actually inactive 18 to 20 hours. They're nocturnal, so they're going to be a little more active at night. Well, it looks like up ahead, if you can see through the windshield, there's going to be a crash or a group of rhinos. And if you can, Hakuna Matata, they're going to be out to the right-hand side where we can move a little bit further. So basically, again, rhinos are heavily poached for that horn. All rhino species carry the exact same horn made from keratin and growing 3 to 6 inches every year. They're actually blind animals. They can't see too far ahead of them or too far around them. So they're going to use their sense of hearing and their sense of smell to stay out of danger. And now they're a little bit bigger than the black rhino as well, at 4,000 to 5,000 pounds. So they're almost double the size of the black rhino. But they're not a white color at all. In fact, their name came from Dutch settlers thousands of years ago, mishearing and misinterpreting the word fight, which fight is Afrikaans for wide, and they do have a wide, square jaw to help them graze, which they aren't normally found grazing because they have really big heads. It's actually too heavy to hold their head up for too long. There you go, there's the rest of the crash, or group of rhinos, which again is called a crash. There's some bantabuck and even ostriches out there, which we'll see those animals one more time, but... Now the bantabuck were considered extinct only 2 centuries ago. And that's because, again, in the 19th century, there was only 17 bantabuck left in the world. That's a very small number to consider how big our world is. And that's because they were heavily poached for their fur. In fact, they do have a purple hue to them when the sun hits them just right. You can see there to the left, there's the lion. It's a male lion with the big bushy mane on his head. Like I said, lions don't do much during the day, they're just gonna rest. Even there to the left-hand side, you can see right by the bushes, the sounder, which is actually what we call a group of warthogs. They're actually the largest burrowing animal in Africa, using their shell-like snouts, tusks, and feet. But you can see them right back there to the left. See the ostriches here against the left-hand side? They are the tallest, largest bird in the world. Say about 6 feet tall, average weight of 300 pounds. They're thankfully flightless. That sounds terrifying. But they can run at 40 miles an hour. Being flightless, they actually use their wings to help them change directions pretty quickly. And there you go, there's a crash of rhinos and the bantabuck again.
They got monkey ears.
That's even there to the right-hand side. You can see there's a yellow-billed stork on top of the log. There's another one right there in the middle of the road. Now, yellow-billed storks are actually carnivorous birds. They eat things like fish, frogs, snakes, small birds, and small mammals. While out there to the left-hand side are scimitar horned oryx. Now, they are desert dwellers, going at least 9 months without fresh water, relying on succulents for water. But it is that the scimitar horned oryx are considered extinct out in the wild. They're only found in reserves like this one because they are heavily poached for their horns. You can even see the young sable doesn't have its horns all the way fully grown. Here's an adult, you see the curved shape to their horns. Now we've reached the edge of the reserve, made our way back to the Warden's post, so I do want to say Asante Sana. That is Swahili for thank you very much for joining me aboard Symbol 1. Any other trap for any wilderness explorers that may be aboard. Now just remember, it is up to us to make sure these animals survive out there, so if you learn something interesting about an animal, pass on the information to your friends, your family, or someone random in the wild. This way you can inspire them to know more and care for the animals. If you want to learn more about conservation efforts, you can jump on the Wildlife Express train. That train station now is the village of Harambe. And head on over to Rafiki's Planet Watch where you can see some more animals pet some animals, again, learn more about conservation, and also meet Rafiki and Doc McStuffins. While in the village of Harambe, you can always ask local traders about the Disney Conservation Fund. Donating to the Disney Conservation Fund will help the animals, for Disney matches every dollar you donate up to $1 million. You can also see some more animals here in Harambe along the Gorilla Falls Exploration Trail. But don't forget, in the Harambe Theater, every hour on the hour is the Festival of the Lion King. Again, every hour on the hour, you can always dance and sing along with Simba, Timon, Pumbaa, and all their animal friends. Now, once again, my name is Jordan, and the name of your truck is Simba1. Again, SIMBA and the number 1. I don't like the word goodbye, that is too sad, too formal, too final. So instead, I'm going to send you off with an old Swahili phrase I learned out here. That is Kwaherini. So, Kwaherini, friends, do go well and go well wherever your travels may take you.
Here at DAPs Magic, we believe it's awesome to be a geek, especially a Disney geek. So we make videos that cover just that, whether it's Disney, Pixar, Star Wars, Marvel, Indiana Jones, anything like that, we might do a video about it, especially Disneyland. So if you like those kinds of videos, make sure to subscribe. We'd love to geek out with you. Also go to dapsmagic.com where you can read our coverage about all of those same things as well. But most of all, we just love to geek out with you, and we'd love to see you in the parks. Make it a great day, everybody.